After the disaster of last year's Samsung Galaxy Note 7, the company is looking to redeem itself, and the decision to continue with the Note brand is a rather bold one. Will the Galaxy Note 8 be able to rebuild the Note brand in a positive light, and will they be able to regain the trust of their own customers? And are there enough improvements to make it to the top of the contender of the second half of this year's smartphone onslaught? Find out more in our full Samsung Galaxy 8 Note review. Let's talk about the design. On the exterior, the Galaxy Note 8 delivers a very familiar design that we've gotten used to from Samsung over the last couple of years. Glass is the main material of choice for filling up the entire front and back of the sturdy material metal frame, wrapping around the perimeter that holds it all together. One thing that you'll notice is that it will be looking quite different from last year's explosive Note 7 or the more current Galaxy S8. Let's talk about the display. The Infinity display that was first introduced with the Galaxy S8 has made its way over to the Note 8. This means that the super thin bezels on all sides and a screen that takes up almost the entire front will be thinner. The thinner bezels also allow for Samsung to fit in all the largest screens that we have seen in the Galaxy Note. The screen is the usual suspect, the Samsung Super AMOLED technology that brings all the typical characteristics that we have seen on previous Samsung phones, such as vibrant colors, high contrast, and inky dark blacks. With a resolution of 2960 by 1440 or 3K QHD+, it's incredibly sharp. The Note 8's display overall is absolutely gorgeous, and the large size is fantastic for all kinds of use cases such as watching YouTube videos, playing games, casual web browsing, and productivity. It's also bright enough that viewing this screen comfortably outdoors is a non-issue. The big bonus, of course, is with the Note 8's screen. The screen now features a mobile HDR certification, meaning that the phone can play back true HDR content that allows for better color accuracy and contrast. HDR content is still somewhat scarce, but should be a little easier to access provided you have the right data plan, due to the Note 8 recently being added to Netflix's list of HDR-supported devices. Moving on to performance. The Galaxy Note 8 checks all the right boxes in terms of the 2017 flagship specs. There's a Snapdragon 835 running the show, but this year Samsung has bumped up the RAM to 6GB. It's not the first time that we've seen Samsung put 6GB of RAM on a phone, but it's the first time that it isn't on a regional exclusive. The increase in RAM is definitely a welcome change, especially for a device that is meant to be productivity and multimedia powerhouse, and it certainly helps the multitasking experience. And that multitasking experience, of course, feels much smoother because of the greater RAM. The hardware on the device is truly something. Obviously, we can't talk about the Note 8 without mentioning the S Pen. After all, this is the hallmark feature that defines the Galaxy Note line. The actual hardware of the S Pen itself remains practically identical to last year's phone. It features the same clickable top, a 0.7mm ballpoint-sized tip, and over 4,000 levels of pressure sensitivity. For all you headphone jack lovers out there, you'll be happy to know that the Note 8 still has one. Samsung is one of the few smartphone manufacturers left that is choosing to keep this feature intact, at least for now. The real highlight of the phone, of course, is the camera. In fact, this is the one thing that I have decided to point on, considering that there's too much phones out there in the market. If I have that kind of cash and I want to buy a flagship phone, I think this would be it because of the camera. One of the more drastic changes to the Note 8 this year is the addition of the dual cameras at the back, a feature that is becoming increasingly more popular on smartphones. The camera alone is good enough a reason to buy this phone. It was only a matter of time before Samsung jumped on the bandwagon, and they couldn't have picked a more perfect time and a more perfect phone to do it. The Galaxy Note 8 camera utilizes a wide-angle and telephoto lens setup similar to the iPhone 7 Plus or the OnePlus 5, and the secondary telephoto lens allows the Note 8 to achieve 2x optical zoom. Both sensors are 12 megapixel with f1.7 aperture on the main sensor and f2.4 aperture on the secondary. But Samsung's super fast dual pixel autofocus only means that it is available on the main camera. Both sensors feature optical image stabilization, which is a first for any smartphone utilizing dual cameras, and guarantees that all of your photos and videos are optically stabilized regardless of which lens you decide to use. Both sensors feature optical image stabilization, which is a first for any smartphone utilizing dual cameras, while the ability to instantly zoom in by 2 times is available on the viewfinder at all times. So all in all, the Note 8 is indeed a very intense phone to have. It was indeed a pleasure to review it. Some of the key features I mentioned earlier, including the camera, indeed is a very strong performance in the smartphone market. But of course, the question remains, will this be enough for them to get back the customers that they have lost because of the Note 7 fiasco? And again, 2017 remains to be a very intense market for the smartphone business. Will Note 8 be able to capture that imagination?